it's like a very unique design of memory foam. It's not foam. It's a custom design.
Like a honeycomb.
So this thing actually now I am sitting.
You're actually like taller than me. Love you. Anyway, what are we gonna talk about?
No, I was just telling the people that your drink wasn't that good compared to mine.
Actually, you know what? It's not. I can admit that.
Yeah, I tasted it.
It's not that good because I had to make my own because my husband didn't make me one.
I didn't like it.
My husband didn't make me a drink, so I had to make one.
That's another thing about being married. It's not, you don't have to make your wife a drink unless she asks for one. You do that shit when you're like...
When you're trying to get her?
When you're dating, you know?
He treats me like a dog now that we're married. He got me, so you don't have to work for it. It's just, you know.
That's not true. She still gets like the sweet text messages.
I do. I'm lucky, right? We got married exactly 3 months to the day that we met. So, you know, people always kind of ask, like, how that happened. So I thought it would be kind of cool to just share that story and hear it from the other half of the equation. So yeah, I don't know if you want to start this one off since you kind of found me. I was just there.
Right.
One day.
Roughly around November 15th. No, it was November 14th. No, it was November 12th. Excuse me.
We met November 11th.
It was November 11th, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because our wedding anniversary is... What day?
I know what date our wedding
February 11th, exactly 3 months to the day.
I know what date it is. Jesus Christ.
I see the sweat forming.
Sweat forming? Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
Cruising the honeys.
Not even. I was on Instagram one night in my former bachelor pad. Lovely top floor penthouse. And
he's telling you all of this because that's not how he lives anymore. And he's
Long Beach.
He's having withdrawals.
In Long Beach, California. Just kind of, you know, enjoying life as a... I really wasn't enjoying life, actually. I had a lot of cool stuff, but I definitely, you know, was missing like a huge piece of the puzzle. So, wasn't necessarily on Instagram looking for the honeys. You know, I definitely came across quite a few while being on Instagram that never would have been potential to do anything with. But I didn't really take Instagram seriously as far as meeting people is concerned. Or any social media for that fact, because you just always hear the negative stuff when the girls are saying, you know, this dude slid into my DMs and this guy slid into my DMs and he said this and he said that. And the funny thing is that until I met her, I didn't even know how to use that feature on Instagram. And that is the God's honest truth. I had not sent anybody no DMs. I received some, but I didn't know how to even look at them. So yeah, I wasn't in nobody's DMs. I never DM'd my wife. I just happened to like see a picture and I was like, let me see who this is. I click on the picture. I don't even think it was a picture of you. It was like a picture of like a quote or something that you had posted. And the name was interesting at the time. It was Follow Tia.
Yeah, wow.
And I was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna follow Tia. See what's going on. See what's
he takes direction well.
See what's so special about following Tia. She's got a couple thousand followers. Maybe she'd be talking about something interesting from time to time or something. And then I started.
Wait, no, you didn't follow me. You didn't follow me.
Nope, I sure didn't. You're right.
Yeah.
I didn't follow you, but I started looking. Yeah. You know, I'll be honest with you.
My page was private and public.
I didn't make contact until November 11th, but I had seen the page months before November 11th. Mm-hmm. I had seen the page probably around like August.
Yeah.
September.
Thank God, because that was when I had just broken up with my ex. And so when he saw my page, oh gosh, when he saw my page, it wasn't, there was no like guy on it.
You could have caught these hands.
Oh my gosh.
Would have fought for you.
Aw, that's cute.
Or I would have sent somebody too. Either way. But
yeah, there was no like person in my life. Like I was single, and at the time, I kept like kind of flip flopping back and forth between a public page and then making it private. So I did this off and on, and it made it kind of hard for him to watch my page and watch what I was doing, because one day he'd click on it and like it would be private.
Yep, that happened quite a few times actually. Mm-hmm. So yeah, around November, I think I started to just see different like pictures of you finally on your own Instagram. You didn't really have a lot of pictures of yourself on there. And I was like, you know, she's kind of shy, you know. She's kind of cute.
Fun, y'all.
She's kind of cute. Got a little bunny nose. Like, let's see what she got going on. But yeah, no, honestly, I really did fall. You know, aesthetically, you know, I was attracted, but there was like some other stuff that was a little bit more, you know, defining than just aesthetics on the Instagram page. It was like some, you know, just quotes. It just didn't look like young girl quotes. You know, it didn't look like immature, you know, chasing after boys and guys and bunch of nonsense, useless nonsense that you see on a lot of young women's posts on Instagram. You know, just all respectable stuff that I was into, stuff as a guy that I was personally interested in. I've never been one who's been interested in seeing a girl half naked unless she was with me half naked. I don't want everybody to see all that. You know, that's mine to see, in my opinion. If you know, I'm not interested in seeing it. Even currently, I don't follow a bunch of women on Instagram now. I never followed a bunch of women on Instagram anyway. Like all the booty pictures and stuff that you see on Instagram. Like I come across them now because I follow her and she follows.
I follow the hoes.
Yeah, she follows. No,
we don't follow hoes.
No, we don't follow no hoes. No. I wasn't ready for that. So anyway, come on, man, stop. So anyway, to bring it back full circle, you know, I'm looking at all these interesting facts about this person, and I had just actually learned about this whole woman. I heard about this whole WCW thing. I was like, you know, let me go ahead and make this my Woman Crush Wednesday. And that was on Wednesday, November 11, 2015. Yep. So that was the very first Woman Crush Wednesday post that I posted. Was on Wednesday, November 11, 2015. And you know, for me not being really into social media much, I thought it was kind of cool the fact that the girl that I had just had to Google how to tag in the picture, liked the picture. I was like, oh. You know, I kind of feeling myself for a minute. I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? I post a picture, girls like it. It is what it is, you know. And it's very interesting because next Wednesday,
Not even next Wednesday, 2 days later.
Right. It was
every day.
Right. It wasn't even a Wednesday thing anymore. Like at this point,
it was on Friday.
Right. At this point, I just like started obsessing.
Wait, we have to go back to the baby mama hashtag.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She got mad about that, and I was like.
The first picture he posted
Tell me what to do.
He put a few hashtags after. He don't know how to check a DM. He don't know how to do none of that, but he knows how to use a hashtag. He hashtagged Woman Crush Wednesday. He hashtagged like something about like she's got me on the Tiffany's website looking for rings and blah blah blah. And one of the hashtags was few. I said don't do that. Just like that. Just don't do that. Yeah. I was so offended. Like, I don't know you. You don't know me. And you're talking about I'm finna be your baby mama. Like, I ain't nobody's baby mama. I mean, I am somebody's baby mama. But not willingly anybody's baby mama. So, I was offended. I don't think he's used to any woman checking him. But I checked him that night.
So, I post this Woman Crush everyday picture. And, you know, an ex-girlfriend comments on the picture. And,
she said that I was cute, but not as cute as her.
Right, it was something along those lines, and she I guess I can credit my ex-girlfriend who was a tidbit crazy to to getting a response that I got, because it created an entire
dialogue.
It created the dialogue. It started up the dialogue, and so we.
I DM'd him. I slid in his DMs.
Yeah, she slid in my DMs.
I asked him who the hell the crazy bitch was. This was at night too. Yeah, I was making a wig for a client. I had to get it done by the morning to mail it out, and so I was pulling like an all-nighter. I was up all night working on this wig. So I figured, okay, cool. I'll, keep myself entertained with this guy and talk to him on the phone.
So I get the phone call. We talk for like 8 hours, and
the sun was coming out.
It was literally about 8 hours. I think my battery had died once or twice, and hers definitely died at least once. Mm-hmm. And I was actually at my business. I was at my office, and I was supposed to be leaving, and I had employees just like trying to get my attention. I was like, shh, like shushing them away, pushing them away, and like it was like a very interesting conversation. It just went on from talking about this crazy chick to just like talking about each other and just like who we were, and it just all made a lot of sense. It seemed like it's what we. It seems like it was what we were both missing.
I hate talking on the phone. Like it's literally one of the things that I hate the most. Like my phone barely ever rings. And when it does, 90% of the time, I don't answer it.
But I typically don't enjoy talking to, like random girls on the phone who call me. And I was anticipating never speaking to her. So I naturally was very excited to talk to her when she did call. So, yeah.
So the next day after we first talked, that's when he said that he loved me. And I said it back.
Yeah.
Because I did.
Yeah, she did say it back.
And it just, I don't know. It felt
even if she hadn't said it back, I would have said it again and again and again, because I wasn't looking to even hear it back. I wanted her to know how I felt about her. So,
yeah.
That was just that.
And then we talked that night for a long time, and I knew I liked him. Because, like I said, I don't like talking on the phone. So if you can keep me occupied and entertained for, hours and hours and hours, and we don't run out of stuff to talk about, especially not even knowing each other, because, even people you can't hold a conversation for hours upon hours.
Yeah, not without the line going a little dark for a while.
Right.
There was not a dull moment.
Yeah.
It was a Friday night that we spoke on the phone,
mm-hmm.
and you had to go to work the next day.
Yep.
And I was like, you were like, hey, I had to go to work today, and a lot of times, women use that as an excuse, like, hey, you can't reach me right now because I'm at work or something. So I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Don't nobody want to try to reach you. How about that? I'm busy too. I'm at my office. I'm in my G-Wagon heading to my office, where I'm gonna likely go put my feet up on my desk and smoke a fat blunt on this Saturday.
I was in my Honda headed to the salon about to work 10 hours on my feet, so
Yeah, it was just
funny. But I
did
text him between like every class.
Yeah, I was hearing from her, so I was like, what the hell is going on?
We talked all day.
Like, we did speak all day, and it was just, it was real refreshing. Initially, I did know right away, just from that conversation. I kind of knew before that conversation that I was going to, be in love with this girl, and then. That next day it just sort of summed it up for me, because I was like, you know what? I would love to be going home to her right now instead of going out, So I don't think since November 11th of 2015 there's been a single day that's gone by, whether we were mad at each other or not, that we didn't talk.
Sometimes I'll be like, I haven't talked to my husband in so long. And I'll grab my phone and text him, and I'll see that like our last text for like 45 minutes prior.
Right.
Like we do talk all the time.
It's funny, we think about each other so much when we're not together that a lot of times, and I truly mean this, like a lot of the times,
often
we're sending messages at the exact same time.
Messages at the same time, saying the same thing.
Yeah, talking about the same stuff. It's like, what do you?
I can't tell you how often I say jinx in our text messages.
Yeah, it comes up quite often, that word jinx,
yeah.
And it's funny because it's true. We're on the same.
We're very in sync. We hung out on the 17th.
Yeah. We hung out on the 17th. Took it to my cousin's house.
So here's between my schedule with Lily, my daughter, and between his work schedule, it was more than a notion to just drive an hour or drive, 30 minutes and meet in the middle to spend time together. But I told him I was, out there in the luxury of having my sister around. I, had a built-in babysitter for Lily. So he agreed to meet up, and he came to my sister's house and picked me up. And it was probably it was so off the cuff and spur of the moment. It was 10 something by the time. Now let me backtrack a little bit. When we first started talking and met or whatever, I of course, he's checking my Instagram out for months. I'm gonna check yours out. So I checked his Instagram out when we first started talking. And it was kind of innocuous. He had cool stuff on there, but I couldn't really tell oh, this is what he does, and blah, blah. As a matter of fact, when we first got on the phone, one of the first things I asked him was, what is your name? Because I couldn't even tell his name from his Instagram. So he just doesn't really share a lot of information there. So I couldn't really get to know him through that. And he doesn't have a lot of pictures of himself and all that kind of stuff. So when I met him on the 17th, and I left he called me and told me he was downstairs, and I left my sister's house to go meet him. I was kind of not nervous, but I was just not sure of who I was going to meet, because it's I have to try to shape this person off of conversation and 5 Instagram pictures. So, and he's not a selfie guru by any stretch. So I'm I don't know if his pictures are a good representation of him, a bad representation. I didn't know what I was walking into, but I was open to it, and I knew that I had feelings for him regardless. So I just went, and my sister lives on in the middle of the hill, and he was parked at the bottom of the hill,
kind of, sort of,
under a tree, and I walked.
It's something that someone significantly older would have to say. Almost a senior citizen to be oh, well, I lost my balance, or I ran down this hill.
I walked.
It's really not a hill; it's a little slope.
I walked down the hill.
Ran into my arms.
I did not run into this man's arms.
I was underneath the sycamore tree.
Oh my god! Was it a full moon?
Yeah, I think it was though.
It probably was.
I think it was a full moon.
I
was up under a big ass tree. I don't know.
He was under a big tree.
I don't know if it was a sycamore tree or not. I'm not gonna say all that.
You just said all that.
I recant some of these statements. But what I don't recant is that she ran into my arm. She definitely ran into my arm. She can try to make it seem like she didn't. She arms were open the whole 9 yards.
He wanted a hug, so I gave him a hug.
Yeah, she ran into the hug though.
I gave him a hug because it was. I was walking down the hill. Had a bit of a trot going naturally, because that's what happens when you walk down a hill. And Instagram Bae wanted a hug, so I gave him a hug and a kiss.
Yeah, I did get a little smooch, a little pecker.
You're so annoying.
And I was like, how you doing?
Oh my god, you're the worst person ever.
Yeah, but
he did.
That's all I got on the first date, though.
Yes. Didn't get anything else to
kiss
that.
and a hug.
So we got
I'd
in the
earned
car.
the hug. I'd earned the kiss and the hug by then.
You did. So we had gotten in the car, and we didn't have any plans because, like I said, it was kind of a last minute situation. So it was 10 o'clock at night. A lot of stuff is kind of closed or closed in.
Yeah, it was during the week. It wasn't a weekend.
Mm-hmm. I recommended, based on where my sister lived, recommended a few things. Oh, we can go to hookah, because usually hookah spots are open a little late. We could go bowling, because I knew that there was a Lucky Strike really close by. Now, that night, he was like, oh no, I don't really like bowling. I don't like bowling. We've been married almost a year. We're a few days away from our 1-year anniversary. I just found out 2 weeks ago, maybe. The reason he really didn't want to go bowling was because one of his many exes worked at the bowling alley, and there was a chance that if we went there, she would.
Anyway, after she runs into my arms, and then we're on the road trying to figure out what to do, We're just driving around kind of casually. Um, I had a procedure coming up, a medical procedure. I was having something checked out because something didn't seem right in my system, in my stomach, and I couldn't eat or drink anything. They made me like take this weird medicine that turned my stomach into glow in the dark, and
Yeah.
I couldn't eat for like a day before the surgery or before the procedure, and that the night before was just a procedure. So I normally would have wanted to go get some food. First date, let's go to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't even eat because it wasn't even supposed to be a date. This was really impromptu, last minute. Um, so yeah, that's kind of how that ended up going down. That the story that people hear about on social media is that I took her to my cousin's house in the hood. The hood being Compton, you know, the hood is a state.
We went to Compton and smoked in the trap.
Yeah, it's, that's cold. It's hey, you know what? And that's.
And he actually suggested it, kind of being funny. He was like, "Oh, you can go to my cousin's house in Compton."
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't come on this side of town. Like, we're way away from my side of town right now. Like, we're in Long Beach, I could tell you all kinds of stuff for us to do. But out here, like, I don't know what to tell you.
And I was super down.
Some of my better days have been spent in the hood. And I spent some good days in Paris and some good days in Miami and every place else. Some of my most notable ones and favorite ones were in the hood. And so for her to want to, you know, agree to go there, even though I really wasn't seriously suggesting it, for her to be like, yeah, let's do that. I was like, you know, that's kind of cool, you know, because there's a lot of girls that probably wouldn't have been cool, even with that suggestion. Probably would have laughed that suggestion off and been like, oh, okay, cool. Well,
I don't think you were expecting that.
I wasn't expecting it to be. I was like, "You serious?" I'm like, "You know what? That's cool." Because I really never at the time took women around to my family's houses and stuff anyway. Because like I said, I have a bunch of ex-girlfriends. I'm not ready to just seem like the unstable character in the group, always bringing down a new girl. So I kept them away from my family. And this day.
And he really did. When we got there, I was sitting with him, and it was very obvious that we were together. And everybody that walked in. And you know, in the hood, like, there's like 50 people that walk in a room at any given time.
Like, what are you guys doing here? Like, what are y'all doing here?
But everybody.
It's 11 o'clock at night.
Right? Why are we functioning? So everybody that walked in the room, they were like, "Oh my God, Randy, you have a girl! Like, there's a girl here. You brought a girl around." Like, they were actually really surprised. It was funny because he told me, he was like, "I don't bring people around," but I was like, every guy says that. But to see like about 3,000 people walk in and say that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was cool.
That was the godlike truth. I don't bring girls around. It's one of those things where, you know, like I said, for her to be down with going over there was kind of cool because it just showed me she was a little bit different than some of the other women I dated in the past. And, hell, she wasn't doing it just because she knew I had money or because she knew I was a certain way. Because I can make any girl do what I want her to do based on the fact that I have money. It's like,
and I really honestly,
come over here or there.
I didn't know he had money. I didn't know what he really did.
Yeah, I only picked her up in a $100,000 car. She didn't have a clue I had any money.
I didn't know what the hell he was picking me up in. It was a black Lexus at like midnight. Like, I don't know what the fuck it was. Like, it was a Lexus. My whole family got Lexuses. Like, that didn't mean anything.
That's to tell you, that's the biggest one they make.
See, and I didn't know that. I figured, oh, that's nice. He's picking me up in a little Lexus sedan. That's cool.
Little Lexus sedan. Backseat.
I didn't realize he had what he had. His Instagram page, when I met him, it did say like, what did it say? Venture capitalist. Had to look that up. And
yeah, which at the time I was a venture capitalist, and I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore.
He was a venture capitalist. He pulled up in a Lexus, in a black Lexus in the middle of the night. I didn't know what the hell it was. And I don't pay attention to, the Lexus brand, really. So I didn't know, oh, this is one of the $100,000 ones. And his page...
Yeah, I never showed off my cars or any of my watches.
He had like a few nice... I hung out in the type of spaces he hung out in. But, like, as a matter of fact, we realized that we know a lot of the same people and have for, like, years and years and years. So it's very strange that we never ran into each other. But I say that to say, like, I've hung out and I have the means and the, friends and that sort of stuff to hang out in really nice places and take pictures in nice places if I want to. It doesn't mean I have it. It didn't register to me, like, what he had. And really my only requirement for a man at that point, financially, was someone that could just take care of a family. Because that's what I wanted. I wanted a family. I wanted more kids. I wanted to live. I wanted to be able to stay in Orange County, which is, on the expensive side, but it's not impossible to do if you have, a decent office job, 9 to 5, making $100,000. I ended up with my husband, and I ended up falling in love with him, not because of what he had, because honestly, I didn't even know really the scope of his possessions until we were married. But I could tell that he was just like when I first met you on Instagram, like what set you apart from me, because I really couldn't tell, like, oh, he's rich, let me be with him.
Right.
It was like the fact that you were a lot different from other guys, and one of the first things I did was look at who you were following on Instagram, and it wasn't like a bunch of bitches. And that mattered to me.
A bunch of car and watch sites.
Right. It was cars, watches, millionaire lifestyle pages, inspiration pages, quote pages.
Right.
Your friends who were mostly men, like, that sort of thing. So, that really struck me, right. And, he reminded me a lot of my dad, which I didn't think existed anymore, because my dad is not the lustful type of man. Like, if he sees a woman half dressed, he's gonna be offended before he's gonna be enticed by it. And you don't see that, like, I miss you too. You don't see that much.
I miss you, Daddy.
I miss you too.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you too, baby.
I love you, Mommy.
I love you too, Pumpkin.
I love you.
So you don't see that much
I miss you, Dad.
at all.
I love
Especially
you,
not.
I love you too.
Daddy loves you too. Be quiet. Especially not with guys his age.
We've had some great times, and a lot of learning curves with each other. Because we moved very quick. We got married in the first.
Got married in 3 months.
Within 3 months we were married.
Met November 11th.
Got
married
February 11th.
February 11th.
So yeah, we and even though we met in November, I moved.
Oh, he broke his lease instantly.
Yeah, I moved right away. Yeah, it's I wouldn't recommend everybody do it like that, because everybody's not going to necessarily be ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
That took knowing that I was really knowing that I really loved her the way I did, and heck, it took a lot of money too.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. Sometimes you don't need a lot of time to figure out someone is meant for you. Sometimes you really do just know, and you can act on that when you're absolutely sure. And I think the fact that I've had so many life experiences with exes, and he's had so many life experiences with exes. A lot of people look at our relationship, especially like younger people, like 21, 22. They look at our relationship and they're like, oh, I wish I had that. And, all these guys, Lily. All these guys are, X, Y, and Z, and they're not worth my time, and I wish I could find someone like your husband. But the thing about it is, and I've told him this before, and friends, I think that if I hadn't experienced all the people that I had and all the relationships and just trials and tribulations and stuff, I probably wouldn't have the same relationship with him that I do. And I probably wouldn't appreciate him as much as I do and value him the way that I do, and have been able to recognize that he was what I needed. And every relationship, I can really sit down and say that every relationship, every failed relationship that I have, I've taken at least one lesson away from it. Either oh, that was really positive about this person, and that's something that I want to find in the next person, or this was something negative and I learned from it, and because of that I can't accept that in. I think no relationship is a waste if you can say you've learned something from it and you can apply it to the next time and have each relationship be better and better and better and better.
I'm exactly the same way where that's concerned. I've gone through enough experiences with exes and so forth to kind of know exactly what I was looking for, so it really wasn't too difficult for me to land on a decision to pop that question so quickly, because I was already over the market. And I'm a big market analysis guy. And I analyze my market very, very, very well. And I said, no, I'm done. This is it.
Said, cash me out.
Yeah. I'll take my chips and get out of here, because You know, you reshuffle the deck sometime, like they say, those memes that you see, and it's very true. You know, you reshuffle the deck when you had a queen, you end up with a joker. And I just got rid of like several jokers.
A lot of people ask us. A lot of people ask me. At least I know. I don't know who asks you, but I know a lot of people ask me how we met. No one cares about his relationship, but on my end, everyone wants to know how we met. So
No, I always get the, how do I get a girl like that? And I'm like what? What do you see?
yeah.
What do you want to know?
Yeah. I get that too. I get, how do I get someone like him? Does he have any cousins? Does he have a brother? Does he have?
Yeah, I get that one from like my cousins and stuff, and my close friends. They'd be like, does she have a sister? I'm like, yeah, she does. Like, she's got a very attractive, very very successful sister, and she's married to a very, very good man. So, there's no siblings left for you.
Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening to our story. Hopefully that answers all your questions about how we met and all that fun stuff. And we will see you guys next time. Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye.
Say see ya.
See ya.
Her hair's not even combed. I should have combed her hair.